beginning of segment 3, introduction to pivot tables. So far we have done a lot of we have looked at this data for quite some time, and we have looked at interesting ways of analyzing this data, but there are lots of things that we seem to be having to do manually, right. So, let me ask a very simple question: how many CS students got an A grade? Remember, we did COUNTIF, and using COUNTIF we were able to figure out that here is what we did, and let me do that again. So, I said COUNTIF and then I should do this as absolute. Okay. So, I know how many students got an A, I know how many students got a B, how many students got a C, how many students got a D, right. First of all, I needed to do this in a very painful way. I needed to first know that students could only get A, B, C, D, and more importantly, there is no elegant way of extending this, right. So, if I wanted to figure out how many CS students got an A, okay, or how many ECE students got a B, how many Godavari students got an A, okay, I want to analyze by hostel. There are very many different ways in which I may choose to analyze this data by looking at correlations between different fields, right. Each of these columns is called a field, and each row is called a data item. So, I want to look at correlations between these data fields, and that is going to be very challenging if I have to do it by hand. Now, the good thing is that Excel has given us a very powerful tool, and I want you guys to understand this tool very carefully, because 80% of what you are going to learn in this course is just going to be pivot tables, right. So, the tool is called pivot table, and what the pivot table allows you to do is to explore correlations between different fields as we that are available in the data set. So, first thing you do is you pick the data that you want to analyze. So, I want to analyze the data that I have selected here, right. So, I am going to analyze this table and insert a pivot table, right. So, I say from this data, and it is picked up the data that I want, which is $A, $2 up to $K, $32, and I am going to put this analysis in a new worksheet. Okay. So, a pivot table consists of 4 sort of broad areas. It has got rows, it has got columns, and it has got values, and then it has got something called filters, which we will come to later. Okay. So, it looks very much like a worksheet, except that it is a worksheet that I have created by looking at data in another worksheet, right. So, let us first ask the question, how many CS students, how many ECE students do we have? So, for that what we do is we say I want rows to be department, right. So, what do we get here? The moment I dragged the field rows, so this is called a pivot table designer. You drag a field from this list of fields into rows, you can see that now I have 2 rows, CS and ECE. And what do I want here? I want the number of students who have this department, right. So, I am going to drag roll number here, and some funny thing came up, right. So, what this is now showing me is the sum of the roll numbers of students who have CS department, which is not what I want. I want this summarized by count, because I want to know how many students have, what is the number of count of roll numbers where the students department is CS. So, that is what this design here is showing me. The rows are departments and the values are count of roll number. Okay. Now, I want to know, I could do more things, right. I could do, let us say, how many, instead of looking at how many students in a department. So, there are totally 30, but I want to look at grades. Okay. So, if I say how many grades are there, A, B, C, D, and count of roll number will tell me how many students have an A, how many students have a B, how many students have a C, how many students have a D. And again, you can see that this is exactly the same calculation, that I had done here using COUNTIF, but now I was able to do this far more easily, right. Similarly, if I go back and instead of doing this, if I just did the department thing, I have got 14 in CS and 16 in EC. Remember, we had done the same thing with filters, right. We had done this with filters. So, I could say, if I just said CS and then selected this, you can see here that there is 14. Same thing if I did, instead of CS I did ECE, then I have got 16. So, again, this was something that I could have done with filters, but it would have been very difficult to do. I would have to keep a lot of track of data manually. Here, using an Excel sheet, I am able to do, using a pivot table, I am able to do it almost automatically, right. Now, I want to know how many students are there in each hostel, right. So, I could do that as well. Hey, but I do not want hostel number, right, I want hostel name. So, Godavari has 8 students, Kaveri has 5, Sarayu has 6, Yamuna has 11, and I think we do not have any students from which hostel, one hostel we do not seem to have any students, right. Let me clear the filter. So, we do not have any students from Kaveri, maybe. Yeah, no, we have got students from Kaveri, Godavari, Kaveri, Sarayu, Yamuna. Oh yeah, that is because we have messed around with this. So, let us redo this. Okay. So, now the data here is changed, right. The pivot table will not have changed. What you need to do is go and right click. So, if the underlying data changes, the pivot table does not change automatically. What you need to do is to go into the pivot table area, right click, and you will see a option called refresh. If you refresh the pivot table, now you see that we have 8 students from Ganga, 3 from Yamuna, 6 from Sarayu, 5 from Kaveri and 8 from Godavari, right. And as data changes, it is now, I no longer need to do any manual calculation again and again and keep, so pivot tables will do it all automatically for me. Now, having done that much, I now want to figure out how many students are there in Godavari from department, from each department, right. Now, there are 2 ways that I can do this. Okay. One is that I can just drag this department field into rows under hostel. So, now what is this data telling me? Godavari has a total of 8 students, out of which 4 are from CS and 4 are from ECE, right. Kaveri has 5, out of which 1 is from CS and 4 are from ECE. Sarayu, there are again 6 students, 2 are from CS and 4 are from ECE. Yamuna does not seem to have any ECE students, it has 3 CS students, and Ganga has 4 each from CS and ECE. But this is not a very nice way of looking at it, right. What I would have really liked is a table in which rows are hostels and columns are departments, and that is where this third area in the Excel sheet in the work pivot table comes from. So, instead of dragging department under rows, let us say I drag department into columns, and voila, you can see what happened. So, now this tells us very clearly, in Godavari we have 4 CS students and 4 ECE students, in Kaveri we have 1 and 4, in Sarayu we have 2 and 4, in Yamuna 3 and 0, and Ganga 4 and 4. Now, I could do other things, right. Instead of looking at department, I could say, which hostel has done the best in terms of grades, right. And while this may be a boring thing to look at, just imagine you could be doing the same calculation on, let us say, the results of a sports meet, and you want to know which hostel won the general championship, right. So, you can see that only one student got an A, and she was in Godavari. 5 students in Godavari got a B and 2 got a D. So, out of the 8 students in Godavari, 1 got a, 5 got Bs and 2 got Ds. Kaveri, 4 students got a B, 1 got a C. Sarayu, 5 got a B and 1 got a C. Yamuna, 1 got a B and 2 got C's, and Ganga 5 Bs, 2 C's and 1 D. Okay. So, you have got now a picture of how you can get grades. I could have, as an example, instead of hostel, I could have just gotten grades by department as well, right. So, it tells you that one CS student got an A, no ECE student got a A, but a lot of ECE students seem to have got Bs, right. The bulk of ECE students, 14 out of 16 have got Bs. So, a lot of analysis, a lot of data cuts you are able to get almost for free. Once you have built a pivot table, you are able to drag data around and play around, right. So, this is a very, very powerful tool. I would encourage you to get very comfortable with this tool. Now, let us look at something more, right. Let us look at, if I look at, I want to know how many CS students are there and what is the split of grades by hostel. Okay. So, notice here that you have got departments all, and I am not interested in all departments. So, this fourth region here in the design is called a filter. Suppose I want to look only at CS students. Okay. So, I could say only show me CS. Okay. And now, if I say only CS, then it is showing me, oh, I have taken hostel number, I should not have taken hostel number, I should have taken hostel name. So, it is showing me the breakup of hostel name versus grades, right. So, any sort of cut I can play around. So, a very, very powerful, very rich tool. Bulk of our conversation in this course is going to be taking large data sets and analyzing it using pivot tables. I would therefore encourage you to get very comfortable, play around with data sets that will be given to you, and see how you can understand the data. End of segment 3.